Okay, hello. My name is Jonathan Alvarez. I'm technically a fourth year student over there with you guys at Fresno State. And yeah, this is my presentation on the firm structure of the firm I'm internshipping at. First and foremost, let's see if I can get through. I am interning at GMA Engineering Architects. This is right here in Fresno. The owners are actually two co-owners right now. It is Rob Sanders, which is an architect, and Martin Linz, which is actually the engineer for the firm. It was originally founded in 1983 by the original owner, Gerald Melee. He's no longer the owner. He actually passed it down to both Martin and Rob. So he's no longer actually super active in the firm anymore. He does projects here and there, but he's just not really too deeply involved as much as he used to be when he actually owned the firm. But yeah, so we are a consulting engineering and architecture firm that is very well versed in both areas. And they boast about being experts in both agricultural and industrial fields of work for buildings. They only really choose to work directly with the owners and contractors to provide the best solutions and also affordable solutions. I had to ask Rob about the firm structure and what he thought it would be, and if he had to describe it, it was kind of in the terms of being fluid. So as in, you know, people here at the firm are actually able to work independently with their work directly with clients themselves. And they'll be able to do that confidently while still having to check in with, of course, the main engineer and the architect, because we all still do work fairly close together. It's just sometimes different people are different project managers for different areas. He would also say that we are described as a C corporation. Of course, we are a corporation at the heart. So yeah. Right over here. Oop, there you go. So services offered. We offer both, of course, architectural and engineering in the firm. For architectural, we offer architectural design and drafting, tenant improvements, remodels for spaces, space planning, site development, and also site plan review. I'm sorry, I did put site development twice by there. That was a complete accident. But engineering wise, we do structural engineering and drafting, forensic investigations, structural assessments, and also being an expert witness for certain things. So yeah, I don't really get involved in the engineering side myself, although I have worked closely with a couple engineers in the firm already. I am mainly and more strictly architectural at the firm. So projects and software. Projects and software, types of projects the firm kind of focuses in on are they're usually more commercial based. So we don't really do residential. There was this one exception that I was working on actually where we did a double-decker deck for a house up in Bass Lake. I actually handled a lot of the 3D modeling of that project and did renderings for it, as you'll see later on. But yeah, we mainly stick to commercial, a lot of warehouses and factories. For example, one of the things that we've done are the Costco gas station canopies are, the metal canopies above them. So a lot of the Costco gas stations you see around the Costco's, my firm actually ended up designing those. So that's really, really cool. But yeah, usually just much larger warehouses and complexes, although there can be some exceptions, like I said, the Bass Lake. And I believe they're actually working on some tiny homes now too. To execute these types of projects, the firm focuses on the use of AutoCAD. Now, when I first got into the firm, they didn't have me focus on AutoCAD. They wanted me to kind of use Revit and get more used to Revit in the firm and actually, kind of implement Revit more into their daily use. However, first of all, they only own one license at the firm, and I was also using my student license for that, just so we can actually do a trial. But ever since then, only me and one other person has actually used Revit in the office. Everybody else uses AutoCAD. That being said, a lot of the work I am doing right now is actually focused on AutoCAD right now, which I completely don't mind because I already had experience from Fresno City and my degree with them. So that's totally cool with me. But yeah, it ranges from, we'd use AutoCAD to do the floor plans. We'd use it to do the elevations, site plans, and all that fun stuff. And while you can do that all in Revit, not everybody really fully understands Revit there. So that's why it was under trial. But one of the reasons why I believe he told me he wanted to focus more into Revit is actually because he wanted to be able to do everything all in one program, like do the floor plan, site plan, sheets, and also rendering. But that didn't work out all too well, and I really hope I can revisit that at some point in the future. Going down, we'll talk about some of the projects I worked on. Right here, you can see a couple of examples that I've done. So those 2 sheets on the side, those are actually recently, that's for our fast track fabrication project. I actually developed, or I drew everything on these pages, the elevations and the floor plans. I, on the left side of that floor plan right there on the BCP, which is a building coordination plan, left side is actually the existing building. The right side is actually what's been developed. So I did like the framework. I did the bathrooms right there. You can't really see them all too well, but those are ADA standard bathrooms for gender neutral. I studied the code of the building codes for bathrooms and ADA and everything, and I was able to develop those and work closely with Rob to actually learn a lot more of like that. So I'm really appreciative of that. But I threw together those, and then I also created the elevations right there. Of course, by using the floor plan, by using some of the information I got from the middle building plan, and also actually diving into Google Earth and learning how to measure, using Google Earth and everything, and using that as an example, so I can actually fully make our elevations look like exactly how it would be, in the real world. And then right there on the right side, you actually see one of the renderings I did on Revit. That was actually for the Bass Lake project that I just told you about above. You can see I actually was able to take an image from Bass Lake itself off of the porch that Rob took when he went up there for his visit, and I actually put it into the background. So now we just have a realistic view of what the client's going to be seeing looking out of their own balcony whenever they actually do fully go through with this project, which is really, really neat and cool. That was actually one of my favorite projects that I've done with them so far because I really liked how the renderings turned out. One last thing. Right here, you're going to see pictures of my work environment. So on the left is actually my desk they put me at. I'm right in the front, right with a view to our little receptionist area, which you see in the middle picture, that little window right there. On the right side is actually my window where people come and call me, act like they're looking at the zoo. No, I'm kidding. I'm not, they don't really tell me that. So jokes aside, that is my workspace right there. I got a really nice functioning computer, although it does crash from time to time. I can't really handle what we're doing. Then we're going to get me a new one. And you see some plans right there on my side of the desk that I've been looking at, and actually going to be starting tomorrow. That will be Tuesday of, what does that be? August 2nd. So I'll be working on some electrical plans in my first exposure to electrical. But yeah, so that's where I sit all day. I work in my work right there. You see all my little scrolls of previous work that I've done with them. If you go down the hallway, down the middle picture, you'll actually reach the drafting room area. That's where most of my coworkers are. And I do venture there from time to time. They're really accepting of me back there to answer questions, just to have conversation. They're really nice people there. And then of course, right there on the right side, that's where you would actually that's what you'll see, the logo of the firm whenever you walk in. So yeah, I think that concludes my my presentation. Thank you.